So in this video, I tried out 6 different drum sample libraries for you guys, so you wouldn't have to go through the installation, registration bullshit, and can make up your own mind which one will work the best for your home productions. Next.
Red Pack Drums.
Welcome fellow drum nerds and music producers, it's Jonathan from Red Pack Drums. On this channel we create videos of unique sounding and looking percussive instruments, from sound examples to musical performances, interviews and music production tutorials. So if you're a producer, a musician or a drum nerd just like us, please consider subscribing and liking this video so we can get the custom drum word out. We as Red Pack Drums are focused on getting you custom built drums to your desktop computer. This way you can play around with drum sounds that wouldn't be available to you without having to sell your kidney. So if you guys have any suggestions on custom built drums that you would love to have in the sample library, please leave it in the comments below. We will definitely consider adding these to our roster. So last week we released our free DS Drum RCS Essentials drum library, which I will review in this video of course. So we were totally overwhelmed by the amount of downloads on this thing, all the comments, all the emails we received. Also the server went down for 24 hours due to the amount of downloads on the server, but we've got it up and running. So if you want to try it out, there's a link in the description of course. And the next drum library in line is the VK Cast Bronze Kit. This is a 300-pound massive sounding drum kit, which we sampled with a ton of Pisces cymbals. So if you want to keep up to date when this bad boy releases, please subscribe to our mailing list, which you can find in the description as well. So before we jump in, I wanted to say I'm not sponsored by any of these sample library manufacturers. The only one I'm biased by is my own sample library, of course. But I'm going to try to be as objective as I can. But to be honest, I love my own, right? So this video is just my bullshit opinion on all these sample libraries. And of course, I'm a little bit biased to my sample library. So let's jump in. So I made a small piece of music so we can compare the sound of these sample libraries. Could be the mapping is a bit off. I didn't do anything. I just grabbed the groove from our sample library, copied it over, and it could be some sounds are not working, but I want to try out the mapping and everything. So I'm going in pretty fresh. The only one I'm pretty familiar with is our own sample library, of course. So that was the DS Drum RCS Essentials demo. You can pick it up for free. All these sample libraries are free. So first let's do the mapping, because otherwise we can't really compare them. So that's always a bit of a problem, you know, when you're working with different sound libraries, that the mapping is always a bit different. So to me it's pretty important that this works fast and easy. So let's see how the different libraries solve this problem. Okay, let's first jump in the RCS Essentials, go to the MIDI page. For this drum beat, the mapping on the RCS Essentials is already there, right? I just want to go through how easy it is to map the RCS Essentials. So let's open a lower window in Cubase, go to the editor. So for example, you want to map the C1 note to a snare drum. You just click here on center hit or the rim shot or whatever the f you need. Click it 2 times, and now it's a snare drum. So that sounds weird. So put it back to a kick, click the MIDI learn button, click the MIDI file twice, and it's back to a bass drum. That easy. Go through the MIDI file, save the preset, save the mapping here to a custom slot, or export it to a preferred name. That's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let's go to the next one. So let's go to this empty power drum kit. Looks like this. Let's see how it sounds. Seems to hit all the samples correctly. Crash. How can we do this? Okay. Okay, this looks like the mapping. I'm not totally not familiar with this thing, so let's see how we can change that. So that looks pretty easy as well. You just switch this knob, MIDI learn, click on the instrument and hit the note. Can you do it here as well? Yeah. So hit it on your keyboard or on your drum kit, or on the MIDI file itself. So that's cool. Let's see. Wait, what the fuck happened here? We don't have the softer hits or the acoustic snare. In our library we have rim shots and center hits. Doesn't look like this one has it, so we have to map these to center hits as well. I'm not sure what the fuck happened here. Okay. Okay. I think I got it now. So the main, you can assign 3 notes to each instrument. This is not, I think I fucked it up. So this should be a low floor tom. This one. Tom high, mid, low. This one. High floor tom. This one. This one. Okay, this one is still off. Let's see. So it's a little bit confusing to me, because if you switch this MIDI learn button, everything is MIDI learn now. So if you accidentally touch a different MIDI key, it will learn it. So that's a bit of a different approach. So not that difficult. I think you just need to get the hang of it, how this works exactly. Okay. E-drums. Some other. Okay, for now, the mapping. A little bit confusing to me, but if you get the hang of it, could work fine. Let's go to the next. Monster drum. It looks like an electronic drum kit, with this kind of layout, GUI layout, but if I'm not mistaken, it's advertised as an acoustic kit. It says here Acustica hits. So, okay, let's try it. The idea was comparing acoustic kits. Okay, Acustica hits. Let's see how this sounds. So I'm missing the hi-hat on D#3. Let's see where this thing is. Hi-hat. This is the close hi-hat. Okay, how do I map this? I don't see any settings button. Oh, reverb. This is all Cubase stuff. Okay, looks to me like this doesn't have any mapping settings. So for electronic drum use, this is a no-go to me. Or you have to map your whole kit different internally. But it's much easier when you have an electronic kit just to just MIDI learn the software and go. But okay, that's a bit of a pain. So if you want to change the hi-hat, you need to go into the MIDI file and find what the hell is it? So F#1 is this one. Okay. This was an open hi-hat, I think. It doesn't have a splash. Not to take an hour to map this whole thing. It's a bit of a pain on the monster drums mapping. So you need to go into the MIDI file to adjust all the hits you need. Okay. So that's a bit of a bummer. Next, ML drums. Let's see how the mapping works out on this one. Up. Missing some notes there as well. We got a snare side stick and a snare hit. So we don't have a rim shot. So for this MIDI pattern, we should program these both. Whoa. So the ghost notes are on D1, the center hits and the hard hits are on the E1. And these are the rim shots in our sample library. So let's go to E1. Okay, that works. Can I learn this? Can I learn it? Learn. Okay. This is much easier to me. So if I hit the learn button, put it on the bass drum, yeah. This is much more intuitive, works similarly to our sample library. I like that. Just click it. The second one, so you can learn 2 MIDI notes to one sample, so one instrument. That's pretty cool. Okay, the hi-hat, the snare drum velocity hits doesn't sound really deep. Almost the same hit strength. I don't know the layers, how many are in there, but could be more extensive if you ask me. Hi-hats, closed hi-hat, semi-open. Let's take the edge, MIDI learn, up. This should be an open. So that works really good. Let's see. We have one crash, second crash. I want to learn that. MIDI. Okay. Looks like the free version doesn't have all the drums. We have a China and a crash. Crash is here. So learn this crash to this note. Yes, sir. So that worked pretty intuitive, the mapping wise. Great job, ML drums. Let's go to the next. So SSD5 by Slate. Really love these guys' stuff. This is going to be pretty amazing as well, I guess. Let's see how the mapping works. So the hi-hat is not playing the groove. Let's go to the map. Okay. Here you can see what. Whoa. So here you can see all the MIDI notes, and on the right side you can see what is mapped to that MIDI note. And if you click here, you can hear it. So I wanted a shank closed or a tip. Do we have a tip closed? Yes. MIDI learn. Hit MIDI note. Okay. Where is it? This one. Did he do it? They actually tell you to hit the MIDI note. Nice. Even kijken. Let's see. What is... Yeah, this is the... Do we have a splash on this thing? Yes. Okay, let's... I know this is supposed to be a splash. So splash edge, MIDI learn, hit the MIDI note. Yes, sir. Blop. And it's learned. So this works pretty great to me as well. If you get the hang of it. Cool. Let's go to the next MIDI mapping. Okay, next up, Modo drums. Looks pretty cool. Let's see how the mapping is running. Up. Okay, so the hi-hat pattern is a cymbal mapping. Okay. Let's see how we learn this. Is there a learn button? Hi-hat. Okay, so they have... Can I hear this? Oh, this is the learn button. Aha! So I want extra open tip, close tip. Let's take the close tip, hit the learn button, hit the MIDI note. The sharp 3 is already taken by articulation edge of an element China. Do you want to unmap and overwrite it? Yes. Okay. This should be an open hi-hat. Let's do that. Extra open shank. Whatever. Yes. Okay. So this is the same floor tom. Let's see if we can map it to the other one. MIDI learn. Bob. Yes. So that works really intuitive as well. Great job, Modo drum. I think I've pretty much mapped it. It's probably not 100%, but just to compare it and to compare the sounds, I think we're pretty much there. So close this window. So let's compare the sounds to each other. These are just the default settings for all the libraries. I didn't do anything. Load them up. Selected a preset. And let's go.